Hi everyone, it's great to see you. If you're like me, I've been out in the garden just cleaning up, and boy, there's still a lot more to clean up. However, today we're going to do something a little fun. So you know I have all these bag and a pot and a pots, and in the center here, you might not be able to tell it at the moment, there is a hydrangea in a bag. Now it's not time yet to take our hydrangea into the unheated shed. I wait until December 1st to do that, but I am going to take it out of my center of the planter here, and I'm just going to put it to the side in the backyard. It's still going to have the regular watering, and by December 1st it will drop all of its leaves. So let me get in here. Now, my goodness, in this planter, I have this beautiful licorice plant, which has just done so well. And I have the tiara blue petunias, and you know, they're not looking their best, but they're still going. It is quite something. And buried down here in the center, I had what was my focal point, this beautiful hydrangea. This was a wee bit giddy, and I'm going to have to take some of the annuals out just to get it unthreaded from all of them. Wow, these really just grew everywhere this year. I guess it was a very happy planter, which is good. Okay, there we go. There is the hydrangea. So it just stays in its bag, and I'm just going to put that to the side. It will defoliate later, and let's see what we have left here. So we have some vigorous petunias and this beautiful licorice plant, something I want to do next year, but you know what? They are really past for this season, so we are going to go ahead and pull them out of the rim gap. They do not, look at this. Oh my goodness. They do not overwinter here, so they'll need to be planted up again. And I did 3 of the licorice plants and 3 of the petunias, and that certainly was plenty. Okay, excuse me while I wrestle with this. Oh, I made quite the mess here. Quite exciting. I'm going to make sure that my planter is raised up on these great little plastic round things. I'm sure they have a real name, just because I do want to keep the drainage going if I end up putting any plants in here throughout the winter. But you can tell it's pretty dry around the edge right now. So one thing I'm noticing is that my socket pot here, this pot that's in the center, that is a nursery pot, has become a little crooked. That's okay. You know, it sort of settles through the growing season. Come spring, I'll probably lift it out, put fresh dirt around here, make sure it's all nice and level. But for the winter, it's not really worth it. I have a little bit of creeping Jenny that has planted in here somehow. I'm going to let that be. That's fine. What I want to do is just make this pretty to get through the off season. And I have a couple ways I'm going to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have a new grow bag that I am just going to nestle in the center here, and I have filled it with some potting mix. Now, for the fall winter season, if you want to, you can use some old potting mix. Maybe you're emptying a pot and you just have some potting mix that you probably will replace next spring. You can put that in. If you have a leftover open bag that you don't want to overwinter, you could fill this up. But basically, we're just using this not to give a substantial benefit for anything I'm planting in it, just to have something firm that I can rest things in. That's why I'm not worried about the outside rim gap here, having kind of spent potting mix. That's okay. It's going to be frozen here before we know it. Now, if you remember, I did some really cute Halloween planters, and I had picked up some garlands at Home Goods. I looked for some similar garlands for Thanksgiving, and I couldn't find any. So what I did is I went on Amazon and I ordered 2 containers of brown and orange, sort of fall themed or woodsy themed ornaments that I could then string myself. all I did for the stringing here was to use some foam covered wire that you can use as tree ties. I have some of that I keep to tie things to stakes because it doesn't bite into the plants as hard, and it works really well for this too. So using that, I then just strung a bunch of the shatterproof ornaments. Make sure you get the shatterproof ones. All different types of the orange, and then some of the others here are like stars. We have some acorns, an owl, and you can sort of just play with these to make the ornaments pop up the top and cover the dirt in the rim gap and give sort of that nice little sparkle here. And the nice thing with this is you can cut it shorter if you want. You can make it longer, however you feel like it, and you can use them from year to year. Now, it wasn't particularly more cost effective to make my own. If you can find the colors that you like at a place like Target or Home Goods, usually you're talking about $19 for a strand of one of these. I had to get 2 containers of the shatterproof bulbs, and I think it cost me about $35 total to make it myself. So, and I had to make it myself. So not really worth it if you can find the color that you're looking for. It's worth it to just pick it up when you see it. So I have my rim gap covered here, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do in here for Christmas yet. I will probably do some type of evergreen or some type of beautiful evergreen branches. This is just to hold me over. So I have cute Mr. Fox here, who I had put away from Home Goods, and look at how sweet that is. Now all I'm going to do is, since this is against the edge of our deck railing, I'm going to move it towards the back a bit, and then these balls were a little bit longer than I needed, so I'm going to scooch them around and then make sure that they close up, sort of sink some down in here. I might even raise that up a little bit later so they show, and I'm thinking I might add some twinkle lights in here. Let's get this a little higher. Okay, not bad. And then of course take a step back, see if you like it. So this is really, really cute. Now I have to say, one of the things, I haven't run this by Dan yet, so he's hearing this for the first time. I love having the chipmunks come up here. We do get some squirrels, but we get a lot of chipmunks. They love to dig in the planters, and not that I want to encourage that, but you know what? If you're looking for a little extra entertainment, you could put some peanuts in here and see if they'll come and find them, maybe a little trail. That would be very entertaining to me. So I'm thinking, you know, you could even put a little saucer with some bird food here too. So you get some of your friends to keep you company through the winter and have that, you know, looking at birds, and that keeps me going until I can be out in the garden. Now, this doesn't have anything live in it at the moment. Let me show you an alternative that you could do if you've planted some perennials in the rim gap. Here I have another planter. This hydrangea did so well. This is Blushing Bride, and oh, it gets that nice sort of autumn tinge to the leaf too. And underneath it, I put in 3 really, really tiny coral bells, also called Cucura. This is Dressed Up Ball Gown. I love the lime color. It darkens a little bit late in the season like this. I'm going to lift out and try to do this somewhat delicately. We'll see. I'm going to lift out the center part. Oh, okay, not delicately at all. We're just going to try to muscle it out. There we go. It's coming. This is when I need to grow a couple more arms. That would help. Here we go. Grow bag comes out. So let's take a look at that. So you can see, wow, some dirt got in at the bottom and it grew roots right through. That's what'll happen. I'm going to pull that off. but it'll be just fine. Took all the dirt that got in the bottom here. That's why you don't want a layer of dirt in the bottom, but not the end of the world. And now I have this heuchera, and heuchera here in zone 6B/7A is an evergreen. So I have to say, it doesn't always look its very best. We have one spent seed stalk here, and you can leave that or you can just break that off. But it's gonna give us some green as we go through the winter. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna leave that there to enjoy. And then, oh, wait till you see this. Look at how adorable these are. I have been waiting, thinking where I am going to plant this. This is wintergreen, and it is non-toxic. You can pick off a leaf and chew on it, and it should taste like wintergreen. The berries are persistent, so that means they stay on here until either wildlife eats them, birds like them, or until the next spring when new growth pushes them off. But they are this really bright, pretty color, and the leaves will stay on. It's evergreen throughout the season. I have to say, these are kind of pricey plants, at least for me. These were $16.99 each. Now they're perennials, so they do come back, and they're going to get to be about 8 inches tall by a foot in a clump. So you could plant these in your garden, but don't they just look beautiful here, peeking out? And they're so nice and tiny. Honestly, I love them so much. I want to see them on my deck. I don't want to give them up and put them in the garden anywhere yet. So we're just going to add them in, and then perhaps next year I'll put them in the garden. You don't want to do your perennial rim gaps with just any perennials, because let's face it, it doesn't have a lot of protection here in the rim gap. It's just a thin layer. But this wintergreen is hardy down to zone 3, and your heuchera is hardy down to zone 4. So you are really going to be okay with both of those as choices to put in your rim gaps. And I love that. So a little pricey right now to plant these, but they do well. I'll have these in the future too, which is wonderful. And I'm gonna get the whole nice winter season able to look out and see how they do. Now, because these are alive, we do have to make sure that if it is a very dry winter season, I might have to come out and give them a little bit of water. But honestly, there's much more of a chance that I'll remember to water them out here on the deck because I see them regularly compared to putting them somewhere else. Now, I don't have one for back here, but that's okay. I end up sliding this back a bit more towards the railing. Yeah, and I'm making sure my pot risers are there because I also don't want to drown these little guys. Okay, this is a good time for you to check, make sure that you're raised up nicely, get it centered how you like. And this green, it looks so healthy and alive for a time of year when everything seems to be winding down. It makes me want to put this in all of the planters. Don't worry, Dan, I won't. Just this one. I put in another container of dirt in the middle. Now, wouldn't this be pretty if I had a small cone-shaped holly in here? I think I could love that. Or maybe if you have a small arborvitae that you could move in here, that would be awesome too. Until I decide what I'm gonna do, I have another fox stake. So this is going to go in here, and I will look out and be able to see that. And maybe I'll put something else in here. I don't know what, but oh, I love this combination around the edge. It's making me think, okay, yeah, I only have these couple for this year, but a lot of these are long-term plants. What could I do next year? Maybe I'll see some of these on sale somewhere and be able to put them away, because this is making me happy. While I'm here, I'm also going to quickly switch out this hydrangea. This is City Line Mars, and I'm going to reach in here to its handles. Now, this beautiful trailing plant over the edge is Creeping Jenny. So Creeping Jenny here should survive the winter. It might die back all the way, it might not, but we're just gonna see. It will go for quite a while. I love that it has that green feel to it. And I have a couple choices. I'm just looking at things that don't have a home. A lot of what I'm doing now is, are there some plants sitting around that haven't been planted anywhere that I still need to get to? And oh yes, there always are. So I'm thinking a couple possibilities. I have some Japanese maples that I'm gonna get in the ground, but I'm not quite ready to do that this second. So let's see if I can find something to put in here. And I decided against Japanese maple. This is my standard form of a new type of hydrangea, the relative of Love-A-Lot. I think it's ruby something. And this is also hardy down to zone 3, so it'll be fine out here in a plant pot like this all winter. It's gonna lose its leaves, but that's okay. Maybe I'll run some Christmas lights or something up it. So now I have 3 different things here. I feel like, okay, we're moving in the right direction as we wind down for fall. We're getting there. I'm gonna take off these little pieces of tape here because I don't want them to dig into the trunk through the winter, but other than that, it can just stay here. And while I was off camera for a minute, I have a couple of tiny little lemon cypress trees here, and so I just put those in there too for now. And then, oh, look at this heuchera. I am loving this, and this will live through the winter. Now these are just going to be annuals, but they're still doing okay. I'm gonna leave them, and I have a baby hydrangea over here. So I feel like we're getting into the changeover. This is great. Now you might notice I'm dropping down the number of videos for a short time. I'm only going to be putting out 1 to 2 videos a week. It'll really help me if you like and subscribe for that 1 to 2 videos that I do each week. And if you can keep up with me, that would be wonderful as we enter into this colder season. And then, of course, when it gets to be about February-ish, we will be back full steam ahead because we have a whole nother gardening season in front of us. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.